We are from Delta Electronics Singapore. See you at Automation Solution Go.
We are from EPAN Southeast Asia. See you at Automation Solution Go.
Hi, we are from Innovate Tech. See you at Automation Solution Go.
We are Monitor ERP. See you at Automation Solution Go.
See you at Automation Solution Go!
We are Sister Robotics. See you at Automation Solution Go.
Visit us at Work 9.
We are Expert Technologies. See you at Automation Solution Go!
We exhibit at Solution Go today, and we find that the
audience, the footfall is really meaningful to us, and we do have quite a few potential leads for us.
It was great. We met many visitors from different industry.
The event has been great so far. It's a great platform for me to connect with not only local customers, we are also regional customers, and there's also an opportunity to be with educational partners.
Generally quite good. Yesterday I was surprised that even at 9 o'clock already there are a lot of people coming, walking around. So I get to know some old friends here. Very, very good.
They shared information to information. I think it's very good to see the rapid working together with the industry. Something new, positive about relations box.
It's always been great for us to get to know some new faces and re-establish contact with familiar faces and to get to know some new opportunities.
Look forward to loving It's been a really cool experience. They've been very helpful and informative, helping us come to the Singapore market, meet new contacts with networking, and also find some partners to do some technology collaborations. And we hope to carry continue the relationship with automation in.
Allows us to work collaboratively and allows everyone here and it's an enriching experience for all of us.
NRP is glad to play a part at this event by running our pilot robo-cluster manufacturing workshop. It is very exciting to see so many people engaging with each other post-workshop. I can't wait to see what industry partnerships we can help to shape through this workshop with ASMPT.
Privileged to be in the Singapore Pavilion. It creates a platform for us to connect and reconnect with customers and even potential suppliers.
It's a great platform for me to connect with not only local customers, we are also regional customers, and there's also an opportunity to be with educational partners.
Enterprises must transform to stay competitive. But every solution is as unique as its company. With SP's company and workforce transformation, we make these journeys possible.
Pricing has been exploring Industrial 4.0 solutions for a while, but the path to transformation is not always easy. We have been working with SP for over 5 years, and when they introduced CWT to us, we knew from day one that this was going to be very useful.
Our regular customers knows that what completes a bowl of leasing fishball noodles is our blend of sauces. But with 16 outlets all over Singapore, we started getting feedback that the noodle taste was inconsistent, thus affecting our quality. So we decided to approach SP because we know that they have the capabilities to help us to develop a solution that solves this issue.
SP's CWT is an integrated platform for enterprise transformation. We offer end-to-end solutions which address a business pain points, optimize their processes, and provide upskilling opportunities for employees. SP is dedicated to helping SMEs advance in their transformation journey, no matter which stage they are in.
Initially, our aim was just to make a machine that dispenses the various sauces. But SP's Food Innovation and Resource Center thought through all the things that we never considered, like maintenance and how to integrate into our existing operations. One obstacle that we faced was that the chili sauce would separate because of all the different ingredients. So the team also helped us to reformulate our chili sauce while keeping the original taste. SP really went above and beyond our expectations.
Everything is very hands-on. SP helped us develop a roadmap to see where we could be in a few years' time, and that aligned the whole company to our transformation journey. SP also introduced us to their AM Lead program. We got the chance to travel to Germany to visit Porsche and see how Industrial 4.0 enhances factories of leading NMCs. It was so eye-opening because it showed us what was possible for Taising.
Transformation is complex. That's why SP aims to make the process as simple as possible, so that we can encourage more SMEs to embark on this journey.
I feel SP really understands the industry, and their project-based approach has been very valuable for us.
Whatever needs your company may have, SP will work with you to make it possible.
At the heart of every business is its people.
HR can play a big role in empowering them, helping businesses adapt and grow.
That's why we chose to level up our HR.
At Singapore Polytechnic, we believe that good companies are built from inside out. That's why we created the Human Resource Learning Journey, building companies of good. We designed this learning journey around 3 key pillars. Profit to drive growth and impact. People to nurture teams through diversity, equity and inclusion. And planet to embed sustainability into leadership and workforce practices. Each edition builds on the last, supporting enterprises step by step from foundation to future.
Our members often face similar HR challenges, from employee onboarding to talent retention. The learning journey gives us space to step back, reflect, and see HR as more than just operations.
In a fast-moving company like ours, people step into leadership roles often, but not everyone feels ready. The HRLJ helped us understand the different communication styles, enabling us to work better as a team.
Sustainability has always been key to our business, but is often seen as separate from HR. With SP, we explore how to bring those principles into the way we hire, onboard, and manage performance. Together, we are shaping a future where HR cares for both people and the planet.
HRLJ offers practical people-first solutions to real business challenges, with playbooks and templates co-developed with industry partners to help enterprises act with clarity and confidence.
Together with SP, we encourage enterprises to position HR as a business enabler.
Today's talent is looking for meaning in their work.
When HR reflects your company's values, you attract people who believe in what your business stands for.
At SP, we believe that when HR leads with purpose, businesses do more than grow. They build cultures where people thrive and values last. 3 pillars, 1 journey. Your transformation begins here. Let us build companies of good together.
Growing our businesses should not be at the expense of our planet.
Whatever we borrow from the planet must be returned.
But taking on sustainability measures may be a daunting challenge to some.
That's why Singapore Polytechnic is here to support SMEs in their sustainability journey.
At SATACom Health, we take care of the elderly and the vulnerable in the community. But we want to extend our care to the planet as well. We use electric vehicles instead of diesel-run vehicles, mobilize medical services to the doorstep, and provide teleconsultations. Even though we have been implementing these environmentally friendly measures, we didn't have the expertise to quantify the reduction in our greenhouse gases emissions. That's when we knew we had to partner with Singapore Poly.
As an education institution, we have the responsibility to show the way in how to address today's sustainability challenges. SP is walking the talk, and we will reduce 60% of our greenhouse gas emissions by the year 2030.
This journey will be facilitated by one-stop center, the Center for Environmental Sustainability and Energy Efficiency. By spotlighting solutions such as carbon accounting, sustainability assessment and reporting, energy efficiency and circularity, businesses can acquire valuable insight into sustainable practices. SP partnership with industry partners such as Paya Consulting has also helped to expand the ecosystem.
Sustainability is a language, a strategic language of insights that we all must speak. So at Paya, we train and equip the Singapore Poly trainers with the right skill sets and the tools so that they in turn can go out and offer public training to SMEs. So now with sustainability infused into the SP's curriculum, we are really able to engage the public with thorough research and insight, coming up with unique solutions to every company need.
Embarking on this sustainability learning journey with Singapore Poly means that SME like us get access to a pool of innovation, be able to mitigate business risks from rising carbon tax and safeguard our business. It's like having a consultant, advisor and mentor all in one. So embracing sustainability is not as challenging as before, with SP helping us every step of the way.
For SME to stay ahead of the curve, green discourse and action must happen.
It's urgent that we embrace a sustainable future.
Our generation has contributed much to the current challenges. Let us do our part to address them. Go green with SP's sustainability learning journey today.
Alright, a very good morning one and all, and welcome to Automation Solution Go and the Regional Industry Networking Conference RINC 2025. Now we'll be starting in just a little bit, but before we begin, I'd like to encourage all of you, please do switch all phones, beeping devices to the silent mode. Thank you. Now at the same time, we do want you to be very mindful of safety in a large space like this. So the first thing I need everyone to do is just take a note where all your emergency exits are. For those at the level 2, the ushers have been told to keep you all at maximum row 12. So anyone beyond row 12 for the level 2, please ushers do help to bring them down and get them closer in. If you see any gaps between you and the other people, just fill those in. We're at a conference, we're going to meet new people, so let's start now. Okay, so while we do those minor movements, ushers do help to invite all those beyond row 12 for the second level to please come down and fill the seats in front. All right, so ushers do just keep inviting them down and please keep encouraging all of them to make their way down. There's a lot of space right closer to the front for the level 2 people. Thank you. Okay, now for your safety, please take note of the emergency exits once again. Restrooms are on level 1, and to kick off, we have a brief video outlining the convention's safety procedures. So sit back, watch, and be informed. My absolute pleasure to be your MC this morning. Now, in its second edition, this event continues to serve as a key platform for talent development, business growth, and technology adoption, supporting enterprises in building future-ready capabilities. As a great event, now we encourage all our participants, those lanyards you have on you, if you're here just for today, you can place them in the collection booth near the registration table while you're done with it so we can recycle them for future use as well. Now, if you're attending tomorrow, please keep them with you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow with them. Now, while you're exploring the exhibition area, did you know one of the booths was built using stacks? A modular system crafted entirely 100% from ocean-bound plastic. Now, take the opportunity. There's so many exciting solutions and exhibits on display just outside this auditorium. Take your time, explore everything today and tomorrow. Talk to the exhibitors and find out more about all these amazing solutions that we have in store for you. We'll be starting in just a little bit, so at this time, I do want to remind all our guests one more time, if you have any phones or beeping devices, please switch them to the silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Alvin Tan, Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and Ministry of National Development. All right, a very, very good morning to Mr. Alvin Tan, Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and Ministry of National Development. Mr. So Waiwa, Principal and CEO of Singapore Polytechnic. Mr. Terence Teo, President of Automation SG, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second edition to Automation Solution Go and the Regional Industry Networking Conference 2025. My name is Ajay, and once again, it is my absolute privilege to be your host this morning. Jointly organized by Automation SG and the Singapore Polytechnic, this two-day event brings together stakeholders from government, industry, and academia to share insights, build capabilities, and explore practical strategies in talent development, business growth, and technology utilization. Now, to officially open the event, it is my pleasure to invite Mr. So Waiwa, Principal and CEO of Singapore Polytechnic, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. So, please.
Mr. Alvin Tan, the Minister of State for Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of National Development, Mr. Terence Teo, the President of the Council of Automation SG, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, including my colleagues and students. Good morning and welcome to Singapore Polytechnic for the Automation Solution Go and the Regional Industry Networking Conference of 2025. This is the second year that Singapore Polytechnic is collaborating with Automation SG to co-organize this joint event. This collaboration is a reflection of our strong partnership and our common vision to support industry transformation. This year's theme, talent development, business growth, and technology adoption, is especially relevant in the current very volatile and uncertain international environment. As Prime Minister Lawrence Wong has emphasized, navigating this landscape requires Singapore to strengthen our global partnership networks. Regional and international goodwill can shield Singapore from geopolitical uncertainties. International partnerships are critical for us to continue to survive and to thrive. Last year, Singapore Polytechnic at this event signed a memorandum of collaboration with 17 Indonesian institutes of higher learning to further educational initiatives. Our collaboration has gone from strength to strength. It is now encompassing overseas learning programs for our students. And this afternoon, over 300 faculty and students will attend the inaugural Technology Symposium co-organized by Singapore Polytechnic and our Indonesian counterparts. This year's conference will focus instead on our Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. Singapore Polytechnic has taken a lead in establishing an enabling platform involving various agencies, trade associations, and institutes of higher learning from both sides of the causeway. Supported by our EDB and Enterprise SG, and also the Malaysian Investment Development Authority. This platform aims to help Singapore enterprises and multinationals with Singapore-based regional headquarters so that we can expand into the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. For instance, to successfully expand into this Special Economic Zone, Singapore company Taisin Electric, they required training for their staff based in Johor. And working with the Johor Skills Agency, Singapore Polytechnic has trained over 130 of Taisin's staff in Johor, equipping them with the necessary skills so that Taisin can take advantage of the Special Economic Zone. We thank the Johor Skills for facilitating this. Through initiatives such as this, Singapore Poly hope to continue to stay relevant to Singapore and to our industry and our economic development. This year's conference also features the Manufacturing Job and Skills Career Fair, co-organized by Singapore Polytechnic, Automation SG, and E2I from NTUC. It is supported also by the Workforce Singapore Agency and Skills Future. This career fair has brought together companies with job vacancies and job seekers. We hope that both sides of the needs can be matched today. I also trust all participants today will find valuable insights from the various curated discussions which we are organizing. In closing, I thank Mr. Terence Teo, President of Council Automation SG, for this collaboration with Singapore Polytechnic. I also extend my appreciation to Minister of State Alvin Tan for gracing us with his presence. And I thank all the distinguished speakers for sharing your insights later. I wish everyone a fruitful day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. So. Now, it's always wonderful to have the principal speak so highly of all his students here today and share that there are opportunities coming up. Amidst all the challenges and global uncertainty, there are opportunities, and they've brought all the industry right here at your doorstep. The opportunity is here, and all of you have an opportunity to participate in it. Now, next up, we have the president of Automation SG, Mr. Terence Teo. I'd like to invite him on stage to deliver his opening address. Mr. Terence Teo, please.
Mr. Alvin Tan, Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of National Development, Advisor of Automation SG, Mr. So Wai Wah, Principal, CEO of Singapore Polytechnic, leaders of trade associations, leaders of government agencies, councils and members of Automation SG, esteemed guests, fellow innovators, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to this special occasion, the Automation Solution Go and RINC 2025, jointly organized by Automation SG and Singapore Polytechnic, a signature event that brings together the brightest mind, boldest innovators, and strongest collaborators in Singapore, advanced manufacturing and automation ecosystem. This year, our focus goes beyond just showcasing technology. We are zooming in on three core pillars essential to future-proofing Singapore manufacturing sectors: talent development, business growth, and technology adoption. This morning panel session will deep dive into these various themes, exploring how we can collectively shape a resilient, future-ready manufacturing sector. The conversation will be both timely and crucial as industries navigate global disruptions, digital accelerations, and shifting workforce dynamics. One of the most pressing and strategic focus areas in today's digital transformation journey is operational technology, OT cybersecurity, a domain that has become critical as smart facilities increase their integration between IT and OT systems. Recognizing this, Automation SG has taken proactive steps to raise industry awareness and capabilities. So in February this year, we co-organized a cybersecurity seminar with the collaboration from CSA, Cybersecurity Singapore Agency. So basically, the initiative wasn't just about education. It was about empowering companies to understand the unique vulnerabilities of OT environment, adopt best practice, and build resilient infrastructures against emerging cyber threats. By diving into such high-impact conversations and collaborations, Automation SG reinforces our role as a catalyst to secure and sustainable transformation. Our commitment extends beyond automations and productivity. We are here to ensure that as industries evolve, they do so with security, resilience, and long-term integrity at the core. This is how we bring real, tangible value to the ecosystems. So in this morning, we have worked with TSA to have TX1 CEO, Dr. Terence Liu, in the morning keynote talking about OT cybersecurity, covering on how to secure manufacturing resilience in the era of AI and automation. Stay tuned for that. On the talent development front, Automation SG remains steadfast in our commitment to support our members' company on their transformation journey. In today's fast-evolving landscape, where AI, automation, and digital transformation are growing rapidly, job roles are being redefined, and entire capabilities need to be rebuilt. It is no longer just about deploying smart solutions. It's about equipping our people with the right skills to thrive alongside these technologies. This is why, over the past 2 years, Automation SG has worked closely with Workforce Singapore, WSG, to drive real, measurable impact. We are proud to have supported 35 members' companies in transforming their workforce by placing over 106 jobs, spanning both new hires and the upscaling of existing staff. This initiative will make possible through strategic programs like the career conversion programs to upskill and redesign jobs, aims at future-proofing jobs while improving business outcome. This afternoon, we are running a job redesign and reskilling workshops with WSG, where 40 companies have already registered. And those who are here, if you wish to understand more about this, do join us in the afternoon track as well. Thanks to WSG Unwavering Partnerships and Salary Support Grant, this allows companies to be able to offset their transformation costs and take bold steps in talent renewal. Most importantly, these efforts have helped build a more agile, engaged, and skilled workforce aligned with the need of Industrial 4.0. Solution Go Day is a testament to this shared mission, where technology meets people and innovations drive inclusive growth. Let us continue to accelerate the momentum, not to just automate work, but to elevate the people who powers it. At the core of the Automation SG mission lies a very powerful conviction that technology adoption must also be inclusive, human-centric, and transformative. Our vision is not just about driving automation or implementing advanced technologies. It's about ensuring that every innovation serves a greater purpose to uplift business, empower workers, and future-proof Singapore industrial ecosystem. As an industry association, Automation SG stands as a bridge connecting enterprises, government agencies, educational institutions, and the workforce. This is to accelerate transformation that is both sustainable and equitable. Through Solution Go Day, we bring this mission to life by showcasing real-world solutions, forging new partnerships, and championing change that benefits all levels of the value chain. So today, I would like to invite each of you to fully immerse yourself, explore the exhibits, engage the sponsors and fellow innovators. Let's push the boundaries, spark ideas, and co-create a future where transformation doesn't just happen, it includes everyone. Working closely with E2I and NTUC after the establishment of our MOU last year, Automation SG and some of our key members have, for the past 9 months, worked closely with E2I and NTUC in promoting the company training program. I'm sure that next year we have some results to announce. So for this year, we are also introducing an AI Readiness Index program with NTUC, the IT&T, and Automation SG. This is a unique opportunity for companies to assess their current stage in AI adoption and also to engage directly with expert consultants to shape their next steps. After going through this consultation session, the results will come in the form of a customized report covering different dimensions such as technologies, talent, data, and business strategy. If your organization is exploring AI transformation, this is a session not to be missed. The AI clinic will be conducted for 2 days at level 2 of the convention center. In closing, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to Minister of State, Mr. Alvin Tan, for graciously taking time from his demanding schedule to join us as a guest of honor. Your presence has truly elevated the significance of today's event. A heartfelt thanks goes to our organizing partners, Singapore Polytechnic School of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Special thanks to Mr. So, Principal and CEO of Singapore Polytechnic, for your steadfast support and leadership. To the entire SP team, your dedication, collaboration, and hard work have been instrumental in making Automation Solution Go and RINC a resounding success. To all delegates and visitors, this event was designed for you. I urge you to make the most of it. Connect with our sponsors, dive into the breakout sessions, embark on the learning journeys, and absorb the knowledge shared at the various conference tracks. I'm confident that you will have inspired, informed, and ready to act. Finally, a big thank you to all our sponsors, partners, supporting agencies, trade associations, and media collaborators. Your unwavering support has been key to bringing Automation Solution Go to life. Wishing everyone a truly rewarding and meaningful experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Theo. You know, the two things I really loved about Mr. Theo's speech, that people are at the heart of transformation. That no matter how much you push an idea forward, you always take care of the people, make sure they have the right skill sets, and safeguard them. And the other thing I really loved about that presentation was that ideas are really exciting, right? Like you have a new idea, a new transformation. It's so exciting. But at the same time, you charge forward on that idea to also protect yourself with cybersecurity and make that a key part of the conference and the session here today. So another big round of applause, Mr. Terence Theo. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to invite our guest of honor, Mr. Alvin Tan, Minister of State, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and Ministry of National Development, on stage to deliver his address. MOS Tan, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's really good to be back here at SP. I was speaking to Principal and CEO Waiwa, and I was reminiscing another event, and he says, "You've been here so many times, it's a different event." But Mr. Terence Teo, President of Automation SG, Mr. So Waiwa, CEO and Principal of SP, and Ms. Georgina Pua, also Deputy Principal of SP. It's really good to be back. And this is the second edition. Last year we were here in the inaugural edition of Automation Solutions Go, as well as RINC. But in fact, Terence, Suyin, and the team would know that the Automation Solutions Go, as well as RINC, were really conceived in many of the meetings that we have discussed. So I'm just really, really happy that we can have a second edition of the event. Last year, at the same event, the inaugural event, I learned from Georgina about SP's philosophy about supporting the manufacturing sector. And I quickly tweaked my speech last year, if you remember Georgina, about mindset, skill set, and also behavior set. This morning she reminded me again about mindset, skill set, and behavior set. And I thought it's really, really important for us to continue to remember what these are. And so I've featured this in my speech a little bit again. To remind us about this mindset, skill set, and behavior set, let me just dive in. The mindset, and Georgina, if you're the Deputy Principal, if I'm wrong, you can give me a bad mark. It is to be aware of the landscape that we operate in. And the landscape that we operate in is increasingly uncertain. It's increasingly uncertain, but there are also many opportunities. The skill sets are important, and that's why we have company training committees. That's why we have job redesign. That's why our colleagues from E2I and TUC, as well as Workforce Singapore, are here, for example, together with SP and other IHLs. But in addition to the mindset and the skill set, you must have the behavior. And that means to act on all of these things that the community has put together for all of us. Correct or not? Georgina, okay, fantastic. Pass. Can get diploma. You remember I used all of these analogies because we also, last year, in October last year, had also just in Parliament honored our Olympians and Paralympians. So it was the day before, I think, October, and then the day after I came here, and then I was inspired by our Olympians and our Paralympians who had just competed. Many of you may be aware that in Kallang now we have our World Aquatics Championships, the swimming championships, the World Swimming Championships. Yesterday at the World Aquatics Championships, our swimmer, Gan Ching Hui, competed in the 1,500 meter freestyle finals. Ching Hui is the fourth Singaporean to reach the world finals and the first since Tao Li in 2007. Now, why is this feat amazing? Well, she slashed 3 national records over the last 2 days, and last night finished 7 seconds faster than her own previous record that she set in the Paris Olympics. 7 seconds faster. So, better, higher, faster. Why do I share this? Well, because as an industry, we too can learn from our swimmers and Gan Ching Hui and our amazing Team Singapore athletes that are now competing in the World Aquatics Championships. What do they need? To use Terence's speech that he's been saying when he was up here is, let's dive right in. First, what do we need? We need a good swimming pool. We need a good swimming pool. Earlier on, I was speaking to Waiwa and Terence and Suin about maybe exploring also moving and expanding RINC as well as Automation Solutions Go to other areas, including the Punggol Digital District. You remember, we have Punggol Digital District, and that's where SIT is located. Ming-Fai, we were there with National Robotics Program just recently. So these are good swimming pools. Swimming pools where all of our swimmers, all of you, can also swim in, including in SP also. The other place is also the Jurong Innovation District, JID, which enables Singaporean firms such as VFlow Tech to tap NTU's researchers and labs. This enables these firms to scale up their projects, which otherwise would be difficult for them to undertake alone. For example, multinational companies such as Makino Asia, Hyundai Motor Group, and Shimano Inc. are also attracted to this Jurong Industrial District due to the ready access to talent and business opportunities. What does this do? This creates opportunities for smaller firms that are co-located in the district to similarly tap on their expertise. So we must have good pools. So it's either in Punggol, in Jurong, or here in SP. But we also need to expand the pool, make the pool bigger. And one of the reasons why we host world-class sporting events in Singapore is to give our athletes the platform to compete with and to swim with the world's finest, with the world's best, to challenge themselves and to push themselves, and to learn from one another. Much like Singapore Polytechnic's regional partnerships with Malaysia through the Enabling Platform Partnership, which Waiwa mentioned earlier on. Let me elaborate a little bit and build on what Waiwa had mentioned. The partnership will help to build a pool of skilled, industry-ready talent for our industry in the Johor, Singapore Special Economic Zone. It will enable SP students amongst you and our counterparts from other Malaysian IHLs, I know many of our Malaysian counterparts are here today, to benefit from more cross-border collaboration and educational opportunities, such as hackathons to develop tech solutions to address sustainability challenges. So Waiwa spoke about Tyson as an example. We saw the collaborations there. I'm sure you are also delivering your training also in Bahasa Melayu. So congratulations to Tyson and congratulations to the team. This good example gives Singapore-based companies like Tyson the platform to grow their operations and to also capture new opportunities in the region, including in the Johor Singapore SEZ. And because Singapore is very small, our pool is very limited, we must compete and swim in a larger pool with also larger fishes. And that's one of the reasons why we are working hard to make the Johor Singapore SEZ a complementary reality, leveraging on Johor's strengths in resources and land and Singapore's strengths in research, development, IT, and as a regional HQ. So for many of the SP students here and also businesses here, that's what we are trying to do, expanding the pool in Johor, so that when companies come to the region, they don't just see Singapore, they don't just see Johor, but they see Johor, Singapore as a place to invest collaboratively. Third, having a good pool, having a bigger pool is good and important, but it's also not enough. We must then swim with and alongside others in the pool, the best in the pool. This means deepening partnerships, including partnerships across the advanced manufacturing ecosystem. For example, Coca-Cola Singapore and A-Star's Advanced Remanufacturing and Technology Center, ARTC, co-developed a robot, or cobot, to automate the assembly and packaging for Coca-Cola's plant. With expertise from local systems integrator Kowa SkyMac Private Limited, Coca-Cola can now integrate this cobot into the existing production line, improving the plant's operational process and also helping them to manage their supply chain better. Additionally, thanks to strong support from the National Additive Manufacturing Innovation Cluster, NAMIC, and Enterprise Singapore, one of our local SMEs, Move On Technologies, is now on track to launch a 3D printing solution at Formnext 2025. What does this technology do? This technology, I'm told, can print optical components such as ophthalmic and prescription lenses which are critical in augmented reality and mixed reality technologies. Finally, the RoboCluster initiative. The RoboCluster, Ming-Fai is smiling now because I have to speak about the RoboCluster initiative. The RoboCluster initiative is under the National Robotics Program. It brings together key players in our robotics ecosystem to work together to build novel robotic solutions that you can all use in real-world needs. A RoboCluster initiative that Automation SG is part of has also been extended to the healthcare sector, resulting in a project by NTU and RTCares that is currently in progress for approval. This project supports rehabilitation of the lower limbs through a robotics-assisted solution that brings therapy directly into patients' homes and communities. This improves access, continuity of care, and also recovery outcomes. So the example of what we do at the National Robotics Program, the RoboCluster, and deploying this into real-life scenarios. Not just interested in building something, but testing it out in real-life scenarios. So partnerships are crucial to growth and innovation, and that's why all of us are here today. We are job seekers, we are technology providers, we are systems integrators, we are trade associations, we are education institutes, public agencies, and all. Events like Automation Solutions Go and RINC are valuable because they facilitate conversations, collaborations, and co-investments that can help us to move forward together. So I've spoken about the pool, I've spoken about expanding the pool, and I've spoken also about all of us, they will be role models, such as like Ching Hui, for other aspects and other people in the industry to learn from.
To receive the award, Black Sesame Technologies developed Sesame X, a cost-efficient full-stack AI platform that delivers real-time AI inference for autonomous robots. Once again, let's give a huge round of applause. Black Sesame Technologies Singapore Private Limited. All right, I'd like to invite all the winners to come to the center. Yeah, all the winners to the center. Oh, Shutin, please join us at the center. Yeah, we're going to take a group photograph. All our winners for the Go Awards. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, big smiles for the cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another big round of applause for the Go Award winners. Thank you. We'd like to invite the Go Award recipients back to their seats. MOS Tan, Mr. Theo, please remain on stage. We'll move on to our next segment, which is commemorating the Enabling Platform Partnership in support of the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. Now, this partnership is a ground-up initiative bringing together key players across Singapore and Malaysia. So, please join me to welcome the following individuals to the stage to commemorate this important partnership. First up, Mr. So Waiwa, Principal and CEO, Singapore Polytechnic. Let's also welcome up Professor Engineer Rostiadi Nordin, Deputy Dean Internationalization, Sunway University. Professor David Chua, President, Southern University College. Professor Engineer Technologist and Dr. Zaini Ahmad, Dean Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, University Technology Malaysia. Professor Technologist Dr. Asfar Rashid bin Poniran, Dean Faculty of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, University Tun Hussein On, Malaysia. Mr. Chan Chi Meng, Vice Chairman, Federation of Malaysian Manufacturing. Mr. Muhammad Najmi Nordin, Management Board, Johor Talent Development Council. Dr. Muhammad Anas Muhammad Anwar, Head of Company, Johor Skills. And Mr. Bernard Lim, Vice President and Honorary Treasurer, Singapore Manufacturing Federation. Alright, we have all our partners on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another big round of applause. The Enabling Platform Partnership in support of the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. I'd like to invite our guests to hold your iPads forward so everyone can see that partnership. Big smiles for the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another big round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you, gentlemen. I'd like to invite you all to return to your seats. Thank you. And there are a lot of exciting opportunities coming up with the Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone. And it is such an incredible thing to have a platform for technologists, for engineers, for every single one of us to find opportunities on both sides of the causeway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, at this time, MOS Tan will be taking his leave. We are grateful for his presence and support at today's event. So please join me in giving him a warm round of applause to thank him for his presence here today. All right, now the fun doesn't stop. So next up, we begin our lectures and our keynote addresses. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Yu Po Leng, Senior Director of Package Innovation at NXP Semiconductors, to deliver her keynote address titled Building an Autonomous Future with AI at the Edge. Dr. Yu, please.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? So good to see all of you here. So I'm from NXP, a company that I've attached to for the past 28 years. Very long, huh? You can guess my age also. So before I begin, allow me to introduce NXP to you through a video. So what do you think about NXP? It is indeed a great place to work. That's why I am here. I'm in the same company for 28 years. All right, but today I want to talk to you about building an autonomous future with AI at the edge. So, why do we talk about an autonomous future? Is it like the science fiction movie that you watch like every day? Yeah. It is becoming a reality. Some people say, is it even possible? Indeed, it is possible. Okay? It is already happening, and it will affect all of us positively. The keyword is positively, yeah? So, why do we need AI at the edge? Why not just AI at the cloud? Yeah. So, what is the meaning of AI at the edge first? It simply means AI that happens where the data is generated at the edge, right here, where the world is around us. Yeah. So, let's talk about the fact. The fact is about data, right? We have a lot of data, overwhelming of data every single day. But the key is how we process the data and how we extract the true value from it, right? But if we were to process all the data into the cloud, is it even possible? So how much data are we talking about? We are talking about, like just this year, the whole world will generate 180 zettabyte of data. What is a zettabyte? 21 zero. Can you see? It's actually trillion gigabyte. Wow. You know that our brain is the most energy efficient, intelligent data processing center. Yeah. Why? Because it understands the context and it will prioritize processing of what really matters. Okay? Let me show you an example. Okay. Now that I'm on the stage, just now when I was coming up to the stage, your brain will tune to me, right? You are looking at me. Then your brain actually tune out everything else, right? So this is what we call context-based intelligent data processing. And this is indeed what we need. And data is generated here, and your brain is processing, and your brain is the best example of AI at the edge. So, 500 billion of data. 500 billion what? Gigabyte, gigabyte of data. Every single day, the world is generating this amount of data. If we were to transport everything to the cloud, what will happen? Is it even feasible? The answer is not feasible. Why? Because of latency and cost. So, what's the solution? That is why we bring the data, or before that, take a look. At least 1,000 times more bandwidth is needed if you were to upload everything to the cloud. 1,000 times more bandwidth. This is crazy, right? It's going to take so much more energy. So the solution is to bring AI to the edge. Okay? So edge is where our world is, surrounding us. Let me tell you 4 benefits of AI at the edge. The first benefit is bandwidth. With AI at the edge, it will greatly reduce data transport. Because why? The processing is happening right where the data is generated. The next benefit is real-time capability. In real life, many processes has to happen real-time. Example, a self-driving car detected a pedestrian running across the road. Your smartwatch detected a health anomaly. All this need real-time fast response. If you do it at the cloud, what will happen? A round trip, go up and come down. Can you even do it fast enough? The next benefit is energy efficiency. Do we know that 1,000-second floating point calculation at the edge takes the same energy to send a single bit data to the cloud? So, energy efficiency at the edge. Yeah? Next one, trust. When you want to build an autonomous future, trust in safety, trust in security, trust in personal data privacy is key. How do we build the trust into the system? With data, with AI at the edge, we can greatly reduce cybersecurity risk. Why? Because you process the data right there it is, right at the edge, where data is generated. And it also prevents hacking. Example, okay, if you consolidate all this data into the cloud, that database is huge, right? A huge database always attracts hacking, right? Because, wow, it's really something that people want. So, 4 benefits. So now you see AI at the edge really has real-life benefit. And AI now is really becoming part of our daily life. Yeah? So what I want to emphasize here is that do not resist AI. Do not think that AI is going to replace human at in our day-to-day life. No, it is actually going to enhance our life, make it more efficient, make it more productive, make it safer, make it more sustainable. So we must embrace AI, learn about the application of AI, and deploy AI in our day-to-day life. And edge AI. AI at the edge. Just now I mentioned all the 4 benefits. So this is where it all comes together. Okay? And it is advancing faster than ever before. Just to show you the history of AI, right? In 1997, AI actually shows its first potential. When IBM Deep Blue AI actually beat the chess world champion, Mr. Garry Kasparov. And that is very first time the world opened up our eyes to see, oh, there's a real potential, yeah? AI really has the potential. But since then, what happened to AI? It has evolved from perception AI into generative AI and now agentic AI. So what is perception AI? Perception AI is able to detect, okay? Able to detect, able to interpret signal. So this is where we call the edge that is aware. Yeah? So how long did we take? We take about 10 years to bring perception AI to the edge. And then comes generative AI, yeah, the ChatGPT, all those, yeah. So generative AI is able to sense and think. And this is where we are able to interact. This is called the interactive edge. So it happens less than 5 years ago. Why? The OpenAI large language model only became publicly available in 2021. The next, what is that? Is agentic AI. This is where we will create the autonomous future, where it's able to sense, think, and act by itself. Okay? And it's just started to happen. Okay? About a year ago, it's starting. So all in all, you look at AI started from the cloud and moving very fast to the edge. And what is agentic AI? Simply means that there are many AI agents. The word agentic comes from agent. Many AI agents, okay? Agent number 1, agent number 2, 3, 4. Example, a moisture sensor is agent number 1. Yeah. Another could be a video processor, it's agent number 2. So all these are different agents, but there's always an orchestrator, AI orchestrator in this system, where it is like a program manager. Okay, let me show you an example, yeah? How this agentic AI can become an autonomous human companion. So, example, looking at the production floor. In a production floor, imagine there's a pipe leaking. And suddenly moisture sensor sense it, right? Once the pipe leaked, has moisture sensor sense it, straight away it will tell the AI orchestrator. AI orchestrator immediately spring into action and tell the pipe to stop the water from flowing, close all the entrances so that people don't come in, don't fall down, and send in a robot to repair the pipe. Everything happened autonomously, yeah, because of this agentic AI system. And better still, it is able to analyze what went right and what went wrong and do a feedback mapping and learning so that next time what went wrong won't happen again. So this is the beauty of agentic AI. So agentic AI is also very scalable. Yeah? It has this software archetype that it can scale into different applications and different use cases. Example, it could be in a vehicle. When, let's say you have a twisted cable, yeah, it's able to do a self-healing. In agricultural, you can also optimize the watering, fertilization. In a smart building, you can analyze the occupancy pattern and also control climate and lighting and so on for energy efficiency. But creating this AI at the edge is actually not easy. It has a lot of challenges. Number one, the system needs a complete integration. Okay? And number two, it needs the right size of model. Okay? And number three, it raises the stake for trust. Trust for safety, trust for security, trust for personal data privacy. Yeah. So how do we overcome all these challenges? Allow me to show you a small example what NXP is doing to overcome all these challenges. Number one, it starts with the hardware. So NXP have hardware building blocks for every application. Okay? And we also have software foundation. And then, how to have the right size model. Can we just plug from the cloud? Cannot. Why? The cloud model is always too large, too complex, and too power hungry. So we need the right size model. We provide a tool, a toolkit called EIQ, where it's able to create the right size model, and also we have a complementary local database for refinement. Then, for safety and security, how do we overcome this challenge? NXP has very strong background in automotive and industrial IoT, functional safety. So we leverage that functional safety system to make a system solution on hardware, on software, on application end-to-end. What's next? NXP also has announced acquisition of these three companies, Kinara, Aviva Link, TT Tech, to further enhance our AI at the edge. And we have applied our system into many applications. We drive innovation and shorter time to market and lower total cost of ownership. So, question, can we do all this alone? Building an autonomous future, if I ask you, can your company do it alone? Cannot, right? Answer is no. We need an ecosystem of partnership to collaborate. Yeah. So that is why we foster a strong partnership across the world. Example, our strong partner is Honeywell, who is applying our AI at the edge into their industrial IoT system. And we have many more partners, yeah, as you can see on the screen. Maybe you are one of our partners. We thank you for your partnership. So all in all, you can see AI really brings impactful intelligence to the edge. And AI is really accelerating faster than ever before. Yeah. And autonomous edge is what is coming, this autonomous future. It is possible, it is already happening, and it is becoming more and more real to all of us. Yeah? And we need agentic AI. That is where agentic AI will make it happen. And it is, this agentic AI, as I mentioned just now, it is a human-inspired. Yeah? It's really like a human able to sense, think, and act by itself. So to scale this autonomous future, definitely we talk about trust, we need safety and security. So we need an ecosystem of partners to do all this together, yeah? So in conclusion, this autonomous future is really becoming a reality. So what's next? Or what's after next? Yeah. Maybe you're working on an AI solution. Today we talk about agentic AI, but there could be more different solutions upcoming. Whatever it is, when new solutions come, NXP and our partners will always be here to bring it into reality. We want to build a future that is brighter together. So we invite you to join us on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yu. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give another big round of applause for Dr. Yu, Senior Director, Package Innovation and XP Semiconductors. Now, up next, we're pleased to invite Dr. Terence Liu, Chief Executive Officer of TX1 Networks, to deliver his keynote on securing manufacturing resilience in the era of AI and automation. Dr. Liu, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Terence, and I'm CEO and the founder of TX1 Networks. Before I start my presentation, I have to confess I'm not an expert of automation. Actually, before I started this company, I didn't even have a chance went to any factories and look at how they evolve their automation. However, because I do this company, I started this company doing OT cybersecurity, I had that privilege to witness a semiconductor giant being infected by a ransomware. And they have to shut down the whole operation for 3 days, 4 days. And it took the whole month to recover. And it cost them $170 million. I also witnessed another automotive supplier who also suffered a ransomware attack. And they had to shut down 27 factories in North America. For 2 weeks, they have to send back all the workers. And because of these horrible stories, I've been able to work with them to help them build up the security guideline and build up the protection from scratch. So today, although I'm not an automation expert, but I want to share some real-world war stories about cybersecurity. And I hope after this sharing, you will have more understanding why cybersecurity is critical, is relevant, and essential to the success of automation and AI. And so that in the future, you could avoid that costly cyber breaches. So I believe IT-OT convergence, actually that's driven by the needs of the digital transformation and AI. But I also believe cybersecurity is driven by IT-OT convergence. And you know, when I started up this company 6 years ago, I think the first presentation I presented in Japan at a ARC advisory conference. And you know, I presented to a group, not so many, but 250 people. And after my 20-second, 25-second presentation, everybody's face is like, wagalanai. I don't know. Why we need a cybersecurity? This is a factory. Everything is isolated. We are air-gapped. Why we need cybersecurity? And I was like, no, you know, you are doing Industry 4.0, right? So you send tons of data to the cloud. How comes your factory is isolated? And also, today you take orders from ERP, from the cloud. So how comes your factory is isolated? So in order to make all these shiny buzzwords happen, including Edge AI, including digital twins, you need openness, right? I mean, for Industry 4.0, digital transformation, AI, what's the core? I think to me, Dr. Yu also mentioned, it's data, right? And if all your machines today are just physical, generate no data, then I don't think you have a way to do digital transformation. So machine today equipped with operating system, with intelligence, so machine can generate data. But how the machine can send the data to the cloud You don't send people, operator, take a pencil and write down on the paper, right? The machine equipped with network connectivity. So when a machine equipped with operating system with network connectivity, it's vulnerable to cyber threat. And so when I look at the term IT-OT convergence, a lot of people will explain this way. It's IT system connect with OT system. I see their point, but in my explanation, I think it's IT system and the OT system meet each other and have a baby. And that baby is, in Gartner's term, is cyber physical system. So in order to have the real successful Industry 4.0 implementation or digital transformation, your asset, your equipment, they have to be CPS, cyber physical system, not only doing the physical engineering thing, but also equipped with the cyber capability to generate data, to send out the data, to do the computing. So protecting the cyber physical system become the center of OT cybersecurity. And today, if you look at how expensive it is to build a semiconductor foundry, it's, in my PowerPoint, it said 4 billion to 7 billion, but in real case in Arizona, it could be 8 to 10 billion, right? And in IT world, the cybersecurity budget is normally 6% to 8%. Imagine how much percentage people spend on protecting this smart factory. I think 1 of 1,000 per day. And with AI, it's not getting any better, right? Dr. Yu also mentioned from the perceptive AI to the agentic AI, which is make everything autonomous. Actually, the end goal from perception AI to agentic AI, from edge AI to mixed structure, the end goal is to have the factory autonomy, and maybe in the future, the physical AI, you have robotics doing a lot of things for you. But these benefits actually come with a cost. The cost is complexity and the interdependence. So to make it happen, you need, again, the openness in OT environment. But openness also comes with a cost, right? I mean, the attack surface is getting bigger. So when we push for smarter operations, we must simultaneously elevate our security strategies. So here is a chart to show you from 2023 to 2024, manufacturing is the most attacked segment in the world. Actually, it's not just from 2023. From 2021, manufacturing has been the most attacked sector in the world. And I have a theory on why. 10 years ago, nobody really cared about the cybersecurity for manufacturing. Even you open the door, the hacker don't want to attack you. Because 10 years ago, the hackers, how they monetize is resell the data they steal from the enterprise and sell in the dark web, dark net. Why? At that time, if they ransom you, they have to give you their bank account. So you call the police. And hackers are not stupid, right? If they were stupid, they won't be a hacker. So they don't attack a manufacturer because manufacturer has no data. Manufacturer has no credential or the credit card numbers there, right? But something changed. Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency changed the whole game. And now the cyber criminals could give you their Bitcoin account and ransom you and ask you to pay with Bitcoin. So they don't worry about police officer to check them through the bank account. And that changed the whole story because the hackers from 2020, they realize manufacturer, they are the soft spot. Why we need to attack a bank? It costs, it spend 9 months to attack a bank to get money. How about just attack a manufacturer? 3 weeks, 6 weeks top. then we get some money. So that's why, I've been doing cybersecurity for 25 years. And in my early days, it's always about government and the finance. But nowadays, manufacturer, again, is the most attacked target. So I just want to show you a lot of example. If you don't trust IBM, you should trust me, or the other way around. And so cybersecurity risk rise in those highly automated and high-value industry. So among my customers, I see some common characteristic. They are highly automated or very high value. For example, semiconductor, right, very expensive. Automotive, very expensive. But you also see food and beverage and pharmaceutical, where you think the ingredients might not be so expensive, but reputation is, the face is, right? You think about Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola being breached and changed the recipe, maybe for the whole year, nobody want to buy any Coca-Cola, right? Because you worry being poisoned. So I want to give you an example about semiconductor. I want to use TSMC as an example. So back to 2018, in August, TSMC suffered a ransomware breach. Actually, nobody can really prove it's done intentionally. What happened is, TSMC, they purchase a lot of machine, right? And normally, they have a process to check whether or not the machine come with a virus. And it's people doing that. However, people always make a mistake. So for some reason, there is one machine come with a virus without being found by the people, by the staff. So, in next 3 hours, one compromised machine became 60,000. Because machine connect to machine. Machine talk to server, server talk to other machine, and server talk to other servers. So imagine if you are an operator working at the TSMC, at that moment, you see the machine just reboot again and again. And nobody knows what's going on, because it could be machine's problem, right? Nobody knows if it's a cybersecurity thing. Until in IT, their IT sees the attack come from their own machine. Now they realize that's cyber breach. It's not even about AI. It's just a one compromised machine, and that virus propagate. And I want to show you another more example, right? We are cybersecurity companies. We have a lot of pictures, show a lot of horrible things. In Chinese, we call it 恐吓取财, if you know what I'm saying. I have an example called KMS. So KMS, they've been hacked in 2023. And KMS is applied materials supplier. And because KMS got hacked, so they failed to deliver their product to applied material and impact $250 million revenue of applied material in 2023. So supply chain security also become a big problem. So how semiconductor doing this? I use 修身齐家治国平天下, right? You get yourself ready and you listen to your wife, whatever she say. Or you manage your husband the other way. And you run the company, right? You become bigger and bigger scope, right? So in semiconductor world, they kind of enhance their OT security. And then they carefully inspect whatever new machine being delivered to the factory. And they take a step further to really regulate their supplier to elevate the cybersecurity posture. So like today, TSMC regulate 3,600 of their supplier to reach their standard. If you are one of them, you know what I'm saying. And this is how they secure their OT. Before OT, they want to secure their IT. And then they put a firewall between IT and OT, between the shop floor. And you should have the visibility, knowing what kind of asset you have, what kind of vulnerabilities is there, and deploy the protection. And not to forget to inspect any new assets inbound to the factory, and also during the maintenance period, check whatever portable media. And why it's absolutely essential. So we've been working with around 4,000 customers in the world in 30 countries, and I would say the top of them, maybe 200, 300 people, they are top of the very large enterprises. Only 10% reach the level of elite, where they know the whole roadmap of cybersecurity in OT, and they have whole practices been placed. So their issue is how to scale up from 1 plant to 100 plant. And the majority, they know what to do, but they don't have a practice. So they are working on build up the practice and SOP. And the followers, a lot of companies in the follower group, they start to sense OT security is important and try to do something. I think these are the steps. Please take a picture. This is very important. But if you were the top management, you should know if there is no management support, OT security will not work. Because OT security involves both security people and operation people. Who take the lead? Whose business is whose responsibility? If no support from executive, then nobody hold accountable to OT security. And that's the key to the success. And you don't say, oh, okay, I want to improve OT security, so let's find a regulation for a standard like IEC 62443, and then let's make us certified and I'm safe. It's not the case. The standard is help you to build your own security guideline. You want to learn the spirit, but not just do the standard. You could be certified, but still insecure, right? Because standard itself is very hard. So you find a lot of ways to bypass the examination. So in the end of the day, you could have your best student certified by IEC 62443, but you are still insecure, the whole plant. That comes to my conclusion. OT security is essential. I use a lot of time to explain that, especially at this era. And you need to bridge the IT, OT together. Because again, cybersecurity in OT, if you want it to be successful, you need a security team. You also need a plant manager, asset owner support. And sustainability depends on structure. You need a right roadmap from assessment where you are today to build up your roadmap to really achieve the people call the digital trust. And it takes a lot of time, several years, from one plan to many. So it takes the whole structure. Again, you need the support from the top management, and you need a right leader. So let's end with one comment, which is when we towards to the automation world, I believe those who secure first, they can finish stronger. And that concludes my sharing today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. Now, if I understand it, TX1 does have a live demo at their booth, so if you are keen, do check it out later. Okay. Now, we have our next industries presentation segment. Now, to kick it off, we'd like to invite Mr. Andrew Lee, Senior Sales Engineer from Balluff Asia Private Limited, who will be sharing on how to keep pace with competition using sensors, IoT, and servitization, powered by IO-Link. Mr. Lee, please.
Thank you. Hello, good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. If not, don't worry. After this section, I hope that you at least know how to keep pace with your computer by our sensors and our IoT solutions. So my name is Andrew. I'm from Balluff. So today, I'll be sharing about how to keep pace with competition using sensors, IoT, and servitization, and all is powered by RINC. So we'll be talking about what and why RINC. I keep promise that I will keep it simple, straightforward, and practical. So to make it short, a quick glance on our family introduction. So Baluf is a family business from Germany, and we have 100 years of history, but do not worry, our technology is not that old. So this is our portfolio. Our product comes from sensors, industrial networking, IoT solutions, and also RFID, which is identifications. So if you are in automation field, we definitely have the solution for you. So this is our market segments. We cover from automotive, metalworking, semiconductors, and also robotics and automations. So let's dive into the highlight of innovation for RINC. So when we consider any change in automation, my customer always asks me three things. Will it save my money? And is it within my budget? And also, will it simplify their life without complicating it? So the answer is yes. So RINC delivers on these three, and let's break it down to the first one, installation. So this is an overview of traditional industrial network system and a complex web of connections where every sensor need to go through remote cabinet and back to your DCS or PLC, right? So from these slides, there's two critical pain points for the industry. So a spaghetti wiring that's expensive to install and maintain. Second, a limited diagnostic capabilities. When something fails, I would say good luck to the technicians or the engineers on troubleshooting it, because it's very complex. So, but what if we told you that we have a smarter way, a system that keeps all the functionalities while cutting the complexity? So let me introduce you the game changer, RINC solutions. So this is a typical industrial example here. And instead of dragging every single sensor's wire back to the cabinet, now we use a rack IP67 block. We call it RINC Master Hub. And it just, since it's IP67, it just hangs outside of your cabinet. So, which means the size of your cabinet can be getting smaller. So there's no terminal blocks are needed also. All right, so just a one standard cables, which is the Ethernet cable, which is green or single cables that run back to your cabinet, which is just an Ethernet cable back to your PLC. So in the control panel, just one PLC, which is IP20, is mounting inside. So everything you can make it outside, which is IP67. So this is a comparison of the topology of the traditional IP20 PLC controller, I/O card, and also output and specialties. So you can see the comparison of our RINC solutions. It's just a comparison. So we do have all the solutions which at outside of a cabinet, IP67. And this is the typical industrial example that you can mount outside, which is IP67. So what is RINC? So actually, it's a new simple technologies in terms of cabling. It's a serial bidirectional point-to-point communication with sensors, just one wire, back to our I/O master hub. And actually, how we integrate it is, the pin 1 is power, pin 3 is negative. So pin 2 usually is input or output, and pin 4 usually is SIO or RINC signal. So we take an example for the centralized IP20 robot arm. So from this example, you see in industry, bus wharf block usually is very expensive. And you see if you have a lot of sensors, few sensors, you need to use a lot of cables that route to the terminal blocks and back to the cabinet. So if you consume a lot of cables, if the remote area is very far away. So if you do in remote IP67, actually we just integrate all the sensors cable back to our I/O slave. There's two I/O slave here. So we just integrate one wire back to our I/O master hub. So the I/O master hub could be hang outside, just nearby the robot arm. So it saves a lot of costs and is in a greener way. So how to save costs? So you also can use our IO-Link type of WAF block connector to save the cost. So let's move to the application. So let's look at how our IO-Link implementations in the industry. Basically, this is the typical IP67 remote I/O that we apply. So whether you are working on a new project or retrofitting project, you can use our IO-Link with remote I/O that offers you a significance of advantages. So traditionally, when adding new sensors or new devices, you will need an additional control panel. But if you use IP67 IO-Link solution, you no longer need a remote cabinet. So there's no need of junction boxes, which save installation space and reduce all overall cost. Third, wiring is straightforward. As you can see, for IO-Link, just plug and play. And it's easy for MRO also because you can save all your configuration data into the I/O master hub. When you want to replace with a new sensor, just plug and play. So this is my typical example in the industry. So I want to highlight on how IO-Link sensors are good in the process industry. So this is my customer. Usually they have a problem that they need to use shielded cable because it's analog sensors. So if you use IO-Link solution, you just need an unshielded cable, which saves a lot of cost. Second is you can see all the sensors is placed just beside the pump or motor, so it will face difficulties, which is the noise. So if you're using IO-Link, because it's transmission of high speed of 101010, so it's not like a 4 to 20 milliampere or 0 to 10 volt, so it's not that sensitive to the noise. And also, you don't need to use the analog card as well. All right, and it's 100% of digital and noise-free high-speed data. So a question for you is, if you could reduce the wiring cost, eliminate noise issue, and gain the full diagnostic solution, would you still using analog? So my customer didn't. So they have implement my IO-Link solution into future project as well. So the second benefit of using the IO-Link topology is all about the efficiency. And in the past, data just went one way, from the PLC to DCS and back to the WAF, like giving orders without listening to the feedback. So maybe just like our boss. So but with IO-Link, it's a two-way communication. Think like a relationship, so two is better than one, right? Then when we talk about IO-Link solution, you might heard about SAMS. Actually stands for Smart Automation and Monitoring System. So in simple terms, it uses the extra parameters that feedback from the field sensors for condition monitoring. So you could know how the sites of your productions in terms of operating hour, vibration, inclination of sensors, or good or bad qualities of your sensors, and also the internal temperature. So these are the data that you need to pump into the cloud for condition monitoring. So the next slide, we'll dive into the IO-Link sensors, and let's see how, the beauty of our IO-Link power supply also. So these are not the typical power supply. It comes with IO-Link and IP67. So it means that it has an extra signal for you to do the condition monitoring. Maybe you can know the stress level and the expected MTBF and also the operating hours. So in the past, IP20 power supply usually is high inside the cabinet. So your operator or technician will need to open up the cabinet to see the condition of the power supply. And they're very concerned on the power reliability, right? So, but if you're using IO-Link power supplies, it pump all the signal data that I mentioned just now to your cloud and or your IoT. So you know what's the condition of your power supply. So with IO-Link sensors, we can monitor the vibration, inclination, and internal temperature. basically, you know how your sensor feels. So, and yes, if you connect it to the cloud, you can control them remotely too. So then, now we talk about predictive maintenance, which is a very hot topic right now in the industry. So let me compare the normal analog sensors and IO-Link vibration sensors. So if you're using a normal analog sensors or like vibration sensors, it only gives you one parameter, which either is X vibration velocity or Y vibration velocity. If you're using our IO-Link type of monitoring sensor, which is IO-Link condition vibration sensor, it gives you more than one parameter, which is X-axis vibration velocity, Y-axis vibration velocity, and Z-axis vibration velocity. And also contact temperature as well, humidity, and also ambient pressure. So it's really different from the analog sensors. So let's move to the application. With an IO-Link master, actually you can connect your process sensors and easily send all the data to your cloud or your SCADA system. So here's how it works, is usually IO-Link gather all the sensor data from the field, and it transmit via three ways. First is REST API to the web page, and second is MQTT to the cloud. And third one usually is quite popular in Singapore, which is OPC-UA for industrial system. So you can also integrate through platform like Capware, Siemens Industrial Edge, or Ignition. So this setup enables you to monitor the sensors remotely in real time and perform predictive maintenance as well. So this is another example that I've done. So this is about the RFID. So in the past, maybe they use about the barcode scanner. But if you use IO-Link type of RFID, so usually it's just like your commercial use in Uniqlo. So this will ensure the full traceability and process optimization. So if you use IO-Link type of RFID, you will know the condition of your site. Which, if the signal quality is not good, so the sensor IO-Link RFID reader have tilt of angle, it will give you an alert alarm on the signal tower light. So beyond the cost effectiveness, this reader really offers a real-time monitoring. So last one, we talk about the simplified integration on the diagnostics. So this is quite simple. So in short, since our master hub is IP67, which could be able to hang outside of your cabinet or control panel, so the operator could monitor and evaluate the information of individual devices from the indicator on the master hub. For example, if the power is overloaded, so on our master hub, it shows you a flashing of blinking red light, and as well as for the IO signal quality as well. So this is the diagnostic functions of our IO master hub. So you no longer open up your cabinet to investigate and troubleshooting. Okay, so if you want to know more about this one, please do visit our booth at second level. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Jeff Kwok, Industrial Automation Country Manager, Singapore and Malaysia, from Delta Electronics International Singapore, to deliver his presentation on transforming manufacturing excellence with digital twin, simulate, predict, optimize.
Testing. Okay, good morning to everyone. My name is Jeff Kwok. I'm coming from Delta Electronics. So I just found out I didn't prepare the introduction of my company. I assume everybody knows Delta Electronics. So let me give you a verbal introduction of Delta Electronics. So we are one of the world's largest power supply manufacturers. Okay, and then we do involve in many verticals of markets, from mobility, automation, and up to infrastructures. Okay. So in this era of smart digitization, okay, and then we are transforming our industry. So one of the topics that we want to share with you will be on twin solution. Okay. So this will be the agenda, letting you know what I'm going to present. Okay. So just now, our fellow sponsors also just presented, how it works for the industrial revolution from 1.0, mechanization, and then up to 2.0 being into a production line, and then Industrial 3.0, automated. And then today, we are still in Industry 4.0, but many are going to talking about Industry 5.0. Okay, and then, but in today, we are in a mix of going to the future. So now, everybody is doing digitization, getting all the data ready, and then how we do really utilize it. And then it has been a very big topic. Everybody's saying about monitoring, predictive, all these projects that are ongoing. Is it really bringing you the benefit? Yeah. So some it may become white elephant projects. Yeah. So, but then of course, what we really anticipate or hope to be will be an autonomous future. Yeah, so this is the part we will choosing. Okay, so there are so many things that we can do to enable this transformation. So there are so many things we can do for Industry 4.0, digitization, working on the cybersecurity, automated, all those. But today I'm picking one topic will be on the twin solution. Okay, let me give you a scenario in a production floor. Okay, in the production floor, usually when we try to introduce a new production line, it will be a collaboration between the NPI engineers, line engineers, including the maintenance or equipment engineers. So typically, they are forced to identify why are the bottlenecks and then how to increase the capacity is always the topic that they want to do. And even the company want to one production line can sustain or being able to produce multiple products. So that will be a headache for all the engineers in the factory. So let's see. Typically in the production, there are some bottlenecks that are unable to be identified because the production is always on running. So how do you do the what if scenario? There's no way you can do that. We have to keep chasing for revenue. I'm the sales. So I have to chase for revenue. Then lack of data insights, because typically we will have a legacy machine or some machines that doesn't really give you much data, so it's unable for you to optimize it. Then coming to one thing is that, are we really giving the right capacity estimation? We don't know. Because usually, in a factory floor, there are so many departments co-working together. The supply chain will be asking, how much UPH can I produce today? And then coming down to the IE, they are giving you some calculation, based on the Excel sheet. But in fact, coming down to the factory floor, the maintenance engineer will be telling you, this data have to recalculate. Okay. So down to there, then you to the working level for all this equipment configuration is also become a headache for the engineers when they need to optimize it. Like I mentioned, the machines in the factory has to always be working. Yep. So all those equipment engineers, when they need to help to plan for a new project or conversion a line, how do they do that? They can only do that on Excel or take up their phone and call the supplier. That's the only thing they can do, right? But then, if this is the case, then it's very difficult for them to do the reconfiguration for different products. So coming to this, it will be, that means since the working machine is always in operation, they hardly can access it. So in this form, they have one production line. Usually it's not only one production line. So they have to replicate all this to multiple production lines. So they have these challenges. But then, today we have a digital twin solution. How does it help? Okay. So in the digital twin, when we talk about digital twin, usually we will think about in a very high level form, entire factory level. So of course, we do have platforms, the rendering machine from NVIDIA, Siemens Accelerator, all these, to help to render all these digital twin. But if you look at the twin solution, it will be product twin. That means you're making your own product, you simulate it. Okay? And then how you manufacture it. So come to the machine twin. Because today in Singapore, we are no longer, we are advancing to advanced manufacturing. That means in every single step in your machine makes the difference. Because you are in a very delicate manufacturing. So that involves advanced packaging or some medical device assembly. All this will be quite important. And then from there, if you have a good machine level twin, then you can come to a line twin. So you're giving a right UPH or the performance, all these to turn into a line integration. From there on, you come to your factory twin. So on the factory twin, you're no longer talking about your performance, but now you're talking about how you operate your factory effectively. That involves into heat management, simulate what you need, and then what are the typical environment, the facility that you require. Okay, so on the twin level, you come to like status twin. Yes, many people will think about, hey, I have a twin. I can see it on, off, all these twin status, but it's not enough. Coming to informative twin, meaning it gives you more data about where is the component is working, and then at which status, at which process, and then coming to, by having all this, next you need to know using the twin to do predictive twin. Okay, then going to having the predictive, you have all this data, but are you going to analyze all by yourself? No. So you'll be coming to optimize twin. That means you're having some program on top to help you to render all this data and then optimize the machine. And then next will be autonomous, will be fully automated. Okay, so today my topic will be quite focusing into the base level, which is on the machine level. Okay, so first, to accelerate the adoption of the digital twin, so in the machine twin level, it's supposed to be giving you a high fidelity model. And then it also give you a smart manufacturing experience that you could actually simulate and predict. Then you could do application development in the virtual world. Yeah? So by having all this data, you can also integrate with the AI program that give you optimized maybe recipe to optimize your machine configuration. So another one will be connecting to the third-party platform. So it gives you the model transformation and then live connection to maybe platform like NVIDIA Omniverse. And then last but not least, the most important part in every machine is every component that assemble together to make the machine. So it has to be open to be able to connect to third-party components and then have standard API. Okay, later on I'm going to jump into more practical stuff. So what could the twin technology brings benefit to you? First, you'll be faster MPI when you go to production. Second is the accurate bottleneck prediction. So when you simulate it, then you know, rather than the engineer will say, I think, maybe. There's no more. Okay? Next will be the resources efficiency. Because you are doing all this in a virtual world. That means your engineers doesn't even have to go to the factory floor to do it. You don't have to call the technician, stop the machine, whatever. Next, we are in a very agile world. Because we are competing with the world. It's not in the region. So being agile, and then you need to do a scalable deployment. Okay, so saying, all these concepts, all these, I really want to show you how the digital twin put in action. Okay, before that, I'm using a development stage as an example. Okay, so typically when you are designing a machine, like in Singapore, we are one of the world's largest exporter of semicon equipment. Okay. So by having the new customer need, for example, you're going to advanced packaging is still new to everyone. They are still exploring how to optimize it. They are still trying to enhance the yield rate. So there are customer need, then you go to mechanical design up to this level. Then typically when you do the design, mechanical engineer will do all these drawings, then coming to the control engineers, and then going to system control. Then you have the prototype machine. And then you maybe have to wait another 3 months to have all the parts ready. Then you do the machine tuning. So in this end, so that's why there are a lot of time, the new technology is already ready, but the process is not ready. Okay, one of the part will be on the machine. So just imagine if you can cut about at least 20% of the time, that means you can have the go-to-market is faster. So that's whereby the digital twin can help you to combine all these simulation in one stage. Okay. So in this development, so you can see, if you're doing this simulation in a machine twin, this will be how it looks like. So you can see, it can give you a real picture and real motion that shows how your machine is going to be, putting inside the digital twin. And then that's whereby you can see, this is our showcase, is how close it is to the simulation, to the real world. Okay, and next, when I say digital twin, it's not about all those motion, the moving parts, but you have to enclose with the models of each of the component. Yeah, I getting into quite deep into like each component, that every robot, they have their own algorithm that give you different cycle time. So by then, you're having all these models integrated in the digital twin, that makes your twin giving you the closest performance possible. Okay, so in the digital twin, if you are using the software, so what can you do actually? So if you look at here, so it helps you to break down all the components into a different segment, and then you can see how the coordination works. And then it can give you the motion, how it really works within it. Because when we say about, now we're not talking about seconds. In a machine level, we're talking about millisecond. You know, they are talking about UPH of like 60K, 100K, or even 200K. That's something that they wish to have. Yeah. So this is something that we need to catch up, and then from there, it's something that you cannot do with your bare eyes to do optimization. But with having this technology, you can imagine what can you do next. You know. Okay. So this is a very simple illustration. Okay. The illustration it gives you to see. This is a very simple one that is a robot working together with conveyor. Yeah, I put it very simple. So there's a waiting time. But if you don't have the twin solution, you may not have the oscilloscope that tells you, there's a co-working time that can work together. That means the robot moves and then the conveyor works together. Of course, for many of the SI here, for sure you know how to do it. But this is just a very simple illustration. So from here, it is very easy for you to identify, not I think, identify where is it, and then how are you going to combine both motion without having collision. Yeah, one part that I did not mention here is that you could simulate all this and then identify is there any obstruction point or overlap point. It will give you the alarm. If you do this motion, that probably if there's a collision point, it will give you the alarm saying, okay, this motion is wrong. Okay, so this is the additional features that you may find in the digital twin solution. It's not only from Delta. In the market, there are other solutions as well. But if you look at what we can offer is that you can even do adhesion force estimation, the gluing, I would say the motion, and then even screwing, and then one more will be onto AOI. So many times when you're designing inspection machine, we need to know how could the camera see. Yeah, we are talking about how the camera see. By using digital twin, it can tell you when your camera moves to which part, it can give you the FOV. So this enables a lot of machine innovators to cut down their design time. Okay, so last but not least, let me show you a video. So it shows you a real-world application. This is an insertion machine. Okay, it's our sister company, Universal Instrument. So now they are actually applying digital twin onto their machine. So typically you'll be inserting your PCBA data into the machine, and then from this, we are enabled to make it to connect to the digital twin and then do some simulation on it. You can see is how easy it is. Just click it to the right point. And then next on, there are so many motion paths you can do, so many possibilities. Okay, so on this part, are you going to do it on the real machine? It's going to take you a lot of time. But sitting in front of just a monitor, tweaking your mouse, simple, right? So your engineer will be much more interested to do this. And then when they have the best path, and they go down. Yes, typically the factory level is quite harsh. Some, they even have to wear the jumpsuit, right? Okay. Okay, so a little bit about what we can offer here is that not only on the digital twin, but we are offering a line management software called DIEAP that helps you to manage this data, optimize it, and then feed back to the twin machine, and then letting you to decide whether to implement the right configuration. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. I'm going to make it very short because everybody is sitting here for more than 2 or 3 hours. Okay, so where we focus, we are focusing in PCBA, EMS, semiconductor packaging, and then also automotive parts. Okay, so this will be how it looks like, that you're having the virtual workstation layout plan, then you have the virtual cycle time estimation. So you can tackle all this and analyze, optimize, and then you have the recipe design, generation, then you have the validation. But then remember, all this doesn't need you to buy a single screw. Yeah. So this is how you to win business. Because today we are competing with the world that may have some party that can build a machine in 1 week. But here, we need to be agile. So this is something that may help you. Okay, that will be all for me. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kwa. We now turn our attention to the next segment of today's program, our panel discussion. Now, the manufacturing sector is navigating a complex landscape shaped by an aging population, declining birth rates, global uncertainties, the push for sustainability, and rapid technological disruption. Now, these challenges are particularly acute for small economies like Singapore. Now, while the shift towards digitalization and automation has been underway for some time, the pressing question today is no longer whether to automate, but how much and to what extent. In this context, today's panel will explore how Singapore's manufacturing sector can build resilience amid ongoing disruptions. We will examine strategies through the lenses of technology adoption, supply chain adaptability, and talent development. For those of you who wish to pose questions to the panelists, you're welcome to scan the QR code that you see on the screen and pose your questions through the online platform Pigeonhole. Now, before we meet our panelists, please allow me to introduce our moderator for this session. Please welcome Mr. Patrick Ng, Council Member for Automation SG. All right, and now please join me in welcoming our panelists. Ms. Teo Siew Pan, Executive Secretary of the Advanced Manufacturing Employees Union. Mr. Michael Guantiero, Vice President of Solution Consulting for the Asia Pacific and Japan region at Infor. Mr. V. Balaburli Kumar, Senior Director of Manufacturing Excellence at ST Microelectronics. Dr. Lim Juki, Director of the School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at Singapore Polytechnic. All right, once again, let's give them a big round of applause. And over to you, Mr. Patrick Ng.
Hello, good morning. Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm with the Automation SG as a council member. So today we want to talk about future-proofing Singapore manufacturing sector through transformation, talents and technology. So allow the panelists to introduce themselves. Siupan?
Hello, very good morning. I'm Siupan from the Advanced Manufacturing Employees Union. I'm actually the Executive Secretary of the union, where I oversee a group of unionized companies, about more than 70 of them. And primarily our companies are in the precision engineering related sectors.
Thank you. Michael?
Yep, Michael Guantiero. I came to Asia in the late 90s and implemented my first manufacturing and supply chain systems. I work for Info to essentially work with customers to identify ways of always make the most of technologies that are available now. Where do we start and where do we go from here? And yeah, that has been part of my journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Balakumar, I'm from ST Microelectronics, right? So I am also happy to see some of my colleagues here from the same industry. I see Mr. Ang Wee Seng, from our chief of SSIA, and earlier was Dr. Yu from NXP. So it's good to see our colleagues here.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jugi. I'm director of the School of EEE in SP. So welcome everyone to my home ground. And in our school, we train students, both PET students as well as CET students in engineering into many industry, and definitely manufacturing is one of the key ones. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So the manufacturing sector is navigating a very complex landscape shaped by aging population, declining birth rate, global uncertainty in a volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world, and the drive for sustainability and rapid technology disruption. Now these challenges are especially pronounced in small economy like Singapore. So while the shift towards digitization and automation as part of business transformation has been underway for some time, today's pressing question is no longer whether to automate, but how much and to what extent. So for instance, in semiconductor sectors, automation significantly boosts yield, while in pharmaceutical industry, it plays a crucial role in minimizing contamination risk. So today, with the panel, I have a couple of questions where we hope to learn from our panelists. So the first question would be for Bala. What are the most pressing challenges facing manufacturer today in this volatile, uncertain world?
Okay, I mean, I'll share my view from the lens of the semiconductor industry, because that's where I'm from. So there's two of them, two big challenges that I see. First is our technology is changing very fast for us, right? I was trying to do some kind of work in 1993, right? If you look at the Intel chip, Intel Pentium chip, you will find that there will be about 3 million of some of the transistors inside. Now, when you look at our NVIDIA H100 chip, you got about 80 billion transistors inside there. So that's how fast you see that our technology can change, right? And in 1993, okay, you might be wondering why I always mention 1993, because that's when I joined, okay? So I've been with ST Micro since 1993, 32 years, right? Right? Okay, so my first job was as an engineer in photo, right? In fact, I got one of my colleagues here who was also with me then in 1993. So in photo, when we did the exposure, the line width was like maybe about 1 micron. So when I mentioned 1 micron, it's about 100 of the human hair. Today, we are exposing down to maybe 10 nanometers, right? I mean, we use extreme UV and all, so you can see how fast it changed in terms of the, in terms of the technology. Even the material, we have gone from silicon carbide, gallium nitride. We are doing MEMS in ST. We are going into materials you may not have heard of, which is called scandium. right? So that's how fast it changed. So that's the first one, the first challenge on technology. There is another one, and that happened after the COVID. If you remember the COVID came and bang, right? The border closed. We had a shortage of the labor. Semiconductor industry was stuck. You got a lot of big car makers waiting for our chip, and skilled labor was the issue. We could not find. So I would say that our two main challenges is how fast the technology is changing, and our skilled workforce that we need. Maybe automation and AI will be the answer to both.
Thank you. So how has global trend like aging population and declining birth rate impacted workforce planning in manufacturing? So I'd like to direct this question to Siu Pan.
Thank you, Patrick. I think one of the key challenges as a union when we talk to our companies is that with the declining birth rates as well as the aging populations, that the local workforce is definitely shrinking. And the competitions for the companies is not just between manufacturing companies, it's also manufacturing companies versus services and so on. So I think the competition for talents is definitely very real. And I think one of the key challenges is that how do companies really innovate, even in the aspects of how you better organize and to redeploy your manpower in a way that they can do higher value added jobs. And at the same time, think of what are the solutions available to automate and even to some extent remove some of the jobs that are they're actually more mundane or or rather more routine. I think those are areas that the companies need to really innovate and actually do a lot more, and it's a great challenge as well.
Thank you. Juki?
Yeah, so I just want to echo this part about automation, but I thought I wanted to expand it to be beyond just automation. I was just talking to Patrick as well that it's no longer just about automation, because in traditional sense we always think of automation as all the machines and automating, but now we have a lot of digital technologies coming in. Just now we talk about AI on the edge. And then of course with that in terms of cybersecurity. So I think this key thing is important to then have that greater emphasis in the use of not just automation, but many of the emerging technologies to help to elevate this dependence on the workforce, so that we do more with less. And I think this is one key thing. I think the other thing about this aging population, declining birth rate, which we know that is happening in Singapore, is really we need to have understanding that now the workplace, which I think many of us should aware of, even myself in SP, is a very cross-generational kind of workspace, because people are working longer. In Singapore, our retirement age from 63, now is 64 soon, and going to be 65 in future. So you can see that. And then after retirement, we have the re-employment. So we will have many senior workers that will have a lot of experience, but we also need the younger workers to come in, and that is that need to have everyone working together. And perhaps technology is one way that to do that, where we leverage on the expertise of the senior workers, the experiences, and then use the energy of the young workers as well. So that is one area I think that will help in terms of when we talk about workforce planning. Yep.
Thank you, Juki. So the next question I have for Michael and Bala. So automation is no longer a question of if, but how much. And how should company determine the right level of automation? Michael?
Yeah. So that's I guess the million-dollar question, if not more. As you've seen even earlier today, technology is pretty abundant. So the big questions that we typically face when we talk to companies are, what do I need and where do I start? And sort of how do I bring it in? How do I know what is necessary? Do I need to go out and buy, a toolbox of AI, machine learning, and RPA and all these things, or other things to automate my business? How do I identify that? So I always say, well, you got to come back to what your business does. What defines your business? What is the strategy for your business? So leave technology aside and focus on really what as a company, where are you today and where should you be and where do you want to be in a horizon, whether it's 3 or 5 years down the road? If you were to build your business today, would you build it the same way or differently? And when you know that, and you can go back to, the academic sort of review and making a SWOT analysis of your company, and it'll tell you what you're doing well and where there's maybe opportunity for improvements. Once you understand those areas, the technologies will become enablers to solving those challenges, and then you can sort of go one by one. I think the responsibility of us as technology vendors is to show you how we can facilitate that in a less complicated way.
Thank you, Michael. Bala?
Yeah, okay, so for myself, I see it in two ways. We have what we call as the green field and the brown field, right? So if it's a kind of the green field, the land is empty, you want to invest, it's a no-brainer. When you ask about automation, please do, if not, you're dead. Brownfield, on the other hand, where most of us are involved, where the infrastructure is already there, okay, and then you may have a lot of kind of the layouts, you may have some constraint on the layout, you may have your tools that may not be homogeneous set, you may have a few kind of tools. In this case, when we are doing the automation, we have to be sure that it can be scaled, right? And if it can be scaled, and my kind of the guidance is if you can get an ROI of 4 to 5 years, it's a go. And with some grants from the government, sometimes the 4 to 5 years will drop to 2 to 3 years, right? So that is, but of course, when you do the ROI, one thing you need to take note is when you're doing the automation, I can just give an example. You may say, oh, I will save 10 of the operators. But after the project is done, you say, yes, I take away 10 operators, but I may need to add 4 or 5 engineers, right? So, which is why when you're doing the ROI, it's important when you give the go.
Yeah, and if I could just add one more comment. When you look at the business, there are a lot of things that can be automated. But if it doesn't generate an outcome that makes a difference, then what's the point? And I think companies have realized that we need to focus on what actually drives a business outcome. So when you say how much and how little, well, if you say, I'm going to automate this, and you cannot explain what the business outcome of it will be, it's probably not valuable, right? So again, back to the earlier presentation where we capture an abundance of data, we need to identify what data is useful to actually help improve our business. If there's an improvement, it might be worth automated, and then you start from there.
So automation should always be tied back to the business objective, so as to get the business outcome.
It has to be.
Yes.
Otherwise, you will be spending a lot of money for no difference.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the next question, how can small and medium-sized enterprise overcome barriers to adopting advanced manufacturing technology? Maybe Siu-Pan could help us with this.
I mean, in our conversations and the engagement with companies, we realized that actually one of the key areas that the SMEs businesses really need is to have a lot of support in even taking the first step. First of all, they must have confidence that there is a possibility for them to innovate, whether in terms of technology or manpower, to be able to excel. This is a confidence level that is actually important. And what I also realized is that the senior management or the founder of the company plays a very, very important role. Because if it's only the middle management who believe in that, but the key owners doesn't believe in that, there is no goal, right? You can talk about it, but nothing will happen. So the founders and the senior management must play a very important role in that. And next step is, I think even earlier on, there was a mention of even some form of roadmap, all right? Do you as SMEs have a roadmap of where you want to be? Where you are now today, where you want to be. And the mapping out of the roadmap is important because it will give you a sense of directions. And even to chart out their roadmap, you also need guidance. Because a lot of SMEs may not have that level of expertise in that area. And I think one of the key areas that NTUC can do as a union that we can do for companies is to work hand in hand in this road mapping exercise requires operation and technology road mapping. All right, where essentially we will support companies when you map up your roadmap for next, let's say, 3 to 5 years, depending on the problem statement that you want to look at. And at the same time, we look at what are the driving forces, how are you impacted in terms of technology, manpower, and then what else is your response. All right? If you can chart out your roadmap clearly, then we will look at each year what are the key milestones that you want to achieve and what are the intervention required. This is a very disciplined roadmap. And I think if the SMEs can do it on your own, it can be quite challenging. But if there's anyone here who are interested to know more about the roadmap and to work with us on this, I think my colleagues here who are wearing red U t-shirts, right, they can actually help to support you. I think that is very practical. And in fact, we have a number of companies who have benefited through that already. And in that process, also embark on our various training funds to embark on technology implementation. Yeah, so if after that, if there's anyone who is interested, please talk to us.
That's the OTR roadmap.
Yes. Maybe I just want to jump in here as well. I think what Sipan mentioned, a lot of times, as we say, how to influence the starting from the top, right, from SMEs. Just now, Mostan talked about mindset, skill set, behavior. So I just also want to emphasize that. And I think in SP, we fully agree it's important to change mindset. And through our engagement with many companies that we would like to help them to embark on this digital transformation or certain business transformation, adopting technology, manpower development, it always starts from the top and how you change their mindset and then get them to see. So we do have many, the ways we do it, we have many learning journeys within SP that they can come, that they can get to know what are the transformation that are possible. So learning journeys from sustainability to advanced manufacturing to even HR, AI. And I think this will become the starting point. And then after that, that's where we'll talk about OTR will come in, helping them to see what is the road ahead. And we have our company and workforce transformation program in SP that helps companies to really embark on this. I think this is where there's a little bit of hand-holding to give them the glimpse of what needs to come ahead that is important. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have been hearing about AI. So what role does AI plays in manufacturing transformation? Perhaps Bala could help us.
I could share some. Right, so I will share some that we are doing and some that we are going to go into. So what we are doing, ChatGPT, for example, I'm sure we all use it, but we have our internal ChatGPT, because if you want to search for any of the SOPs, in the past you will have to, I mean, if you got 1,000 SOPs in the fab, right? It's easy, we use a ChatGPT, you can search and the ChatGPT will tell you what you need to do. So that one is being done. Computer vision is another part of AI that we are doing. When someone goes into the fab and they are not wearing the PPE in the right manner, there will be a video that looks at him and say, hey, stop, you have to wear your PPE. If you load the wrong kind of the carrier, white or black, it's able to tell you. So we are doing all this. There is one aspect in our semiconductor that's very important, is the inspection, right? So all the wafers are going through inspection. In the past, we used to have a bunch of operators who will have to look at the defects and able to put it as maybe scratches, particles and all. Now with AI, you don't need that, because with our deep learning models that we have, it's all done by the AI, so you don't need the operator to do that. This is all what we are doing. Where we are going, I just share maybe one or two examples. In terms of root cause analysis, right? I mean, you inspect the wafer, you find a defect, you put it on hold for the engineer, and he'll spend a few hours to find out what's the root cause. AI should be able to do it for us, to be able to look through all the systems, SPC and the history of the defect, and tell us exactly where's the problem. So that's one. The other good example I can share is, I think it was shared earlier by Jeff or something, it's to be able to predict the WIP that we have in the line, where our output is moving, where our forecast is moving. Digital twin will surely help us, and agentic AI will tell us what to do after that, after it's able to predict the WIP. So that's where we are going into. Some examples of AI that we're moving into.
Thank you. So those are very advanced AI implementation, agentic AI. Michael, do you have?
Yep. Yeah. So working with different companies and understanding different industries, there's always two aspects to it. Part of it is how do we achieve enterprise automation where it makes sense, and then we have sort of augmentation with AI for the worker. Some call it the connected worker, some call it the enhanced workers, but really it is there to assist the worker. And the difference from what it used to be is now we have so much data insights, and the question is, how do we access the information that are relevant depending on where we are in a given state in the operation? We are able to monitor and survey everything that is happening in the operation, whether we do it through the digital twin or whether we do it just through the systems that we are running. We are able to be presented with so many more decisions. Some decisions you can say can be business rule driven and it becomes an automated process, right? There's a very clear decision structure on what happens in that, and that keeps everything automated. But then there is assisting the worker, augmenting insights to the worker, so we get intelligent insights, which might not be readily available, but with all that data that is constantly available, we can essentially analyze that data, apply machine learning algorithms on top of it, and then present the worker with some decisions that can be made. Or if you are in the medical industry and you are a surgeon, you can have an extra set of eyes that analyzes everything you do and you still operate the equipment for a given surgery. Or the fully automated approach eventually will come, maybe with less complicated surgeries or more complicated, where robotics will take over the surgeries for precision robotics of surgery. There are, of course, certain things where a human touch is more desired. And I think that's the balance we need to find on where we apply it in the given industry. So coming back to identifying what's important. Data is available, decision insights on a deeper level that we didn't have access to, which could have been a monthly process. Let's run a report and see how we performed. We will have this as immediate insights for immediate actions and decisions, and that can help truly improve and refocus what we do into other areas of the business. I think one more thing is, everybody talks about company performance, and step one in improving performance is being able to monitor it. Not as a monthly KPI report that comes out because you cannot react to it for things that happened a month ago. Well, you can make adjustments, but that doesn't help what's already passed. Now, these becomes real-time monitoring of processes in there that feed back immediately on things that can be changed, so we introduce more agile decision-making for what is happening right now, not what happened 3-4 weeks ago. I wish I could have changed it or made a better decision. All these things are coming in. And I can talk for hours around that because this is how you do work on performance improvements. But step one is getting the insights captured and deciphered into something we can make better decisions on for our companies.
And part of those decisions can also goes into supply chain resilience, figuring out all the supplies.
A big part of it, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the way the AI is being used is also moving at a very fast pace, right? So just now Bala talked about ChatGPT and all this. So now how we use the AI is also, we are able to use natural language to query. It is able to reply, and because of the large language model. So with all the talk about generative AI and now going to agentic AI. So that's quite exciting times, I would say, when we look at how AI is being deployed in the industry.
So on that topic, what skills will be most critical for the future manufacturing workforce?
Okay, so maybe I start first and to share. So I think no doubt the domain skills are needed. In SP, we always believe in building the right foundation in the technical areas, and also keeping abreast with what is coming up. For example, in manufacturing, of course, AI is one, and we talk about the autonomous systems that are coming. And nowadays, I think there's a lot of, you just put words in front of AI and it's something new, right? So generative AI, then now talk about agentic AI, and recently people are talking about embodied AI, which is robotics. So I think all these things we need to be kept abreast because our students, at least our full-time students, there'll be a few more years before they enter into the workforce, but we also need to help to develop many of these skills for our existing workforce that is coming back to be reskilled, to be upskilled. So that's one part, the domain, which is important. But I think the other part is really skills in terms of being able to work with people, communication. So these are things that is evergreen. We need to continue to emphasize on it. And like, for example, I believe every institution would have many of these cross-cutting skills, which we talk about T-shaped graduate. And then now we also talk about pie-shape, where two domain and one horizontal. But the horizontal is important. And as I mentioned, different institutions would have different ways of doing that. For example, in SP, all our students, whichever diplomas they are in, all have to go through a common core curriculum. So in the common core curriculum, they both learn about some of the emerging skill areas like data literacy, data storytelling, as well as the human aspect. So this is the part where I talk about communication, working in teams. And so I think these are all important aspects. Even, I would say they are evergreen. However the industry moves, it is still important to have all these soft skills to be able to work with people. And that's what we endeavor to build within our graduates as well.
Thank you. Bala, what about from the factory side?
Yeah, for myself, I'll just split into three. So first, the skills for the operators, right? Because we are putting in a lot of the robots into the line. So I think they has to be trained how to work together with the cobots. That's one. They should be given some sense of what is AI all about, so that they don't get scared and all. So that's for the operators. For the engineers, for sure, they have to learn the automation, the IoT, the AI, whatever tools like Copilot, Python and all, they have to learn, right? They have to learn those skills, I think. And then they also need to know some of the soft skills like our emotional intelligence, all they have to learn. The third one, which is for us, I mean, as managers and the leaders, I think that is also important because how we think, our mindset, as what is mentioned by the minister earlier, that one is important. How we manage because I'm a Gen X, so how we are managing the Gen Y and the Gen Z, maybe it's not managed, is how we learn from them, I think is as important. I've got one of my colleagues who is Gen Z over here, Celeste sitting over there. So just to give you an example, I'm also in charge of lean manufacturing. So every year we have an exhibition. And I'll tell all my guys, go and put up all the boards, on what is lean all about, A3, VSM, and I'm doing it every year. Last year, some of the Gen Zs helped to do this exhibition. There was no panels at the lobby. Instead, they went around the office with the music. They were owning music. They started to dance, and they were holding up some kind of the placards on what is lean about. And I just realized their method had a huge impact, more than my method of putting up the panels. So I think we will have to learn from them.
So they also show you some of the better ways to engage.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of much better ways. Yeah, right.
All right. And Siupan, I think talk about the most critical skills for the manufacturing workforce, and also about what would be a piece of advice you have for manufacturing leaders navigating today's landscape.
Manufacturing leaders, I think one of the things that we see when we deal with companies and in our conversation with them, we realize that actually in terms of the talent retention as well as recruitment is a key challenge. At the end of the day, you can, even for the candidates that we talk to, many of them are actually willing to go for training. They are willing to upskills, but yet at the same time, especially those who are in their mid-40s, may also face challenges in being able to find a suitable jobs and to remain within manufacturing. I think what I do appeal is that, because I know that also because we have a bit of short of time, I think what I wanted to appeal to the crowd here is that as a manufacturing leaders, and to keep manufacturing in Singapore, we must retain talents. And I know that it's not an easy task. In fact, it's very difficult because we are competing with services and so on. But yet at the same time, if you are to keep manufacturing in Singapore, a competitive compensation is important. And likewise, even for the younger generation, they are looking for purpose. Purpose is not just about going for work and just coming out at the end of the day. It's really about how they contribute to the society, to the work that they do. So if in your mission statements, if you have nothing related to sustainability, you have nothing related to how you contribute to make the world a better place, then the challenge is that whether you can attract or even to retain the younger generation people. So I think it's an appeal to companies, number one, if you want to attract and to retain younger people, can you look at your mission statements and your business, how you are contributing to the better good of the society, number one, and to the world, well, depending on the range of products. Number two is that for the workers who are willing to go for training, are you able to support them? People who knock on your door after they have received training, are you prepared to open your door and to assess them and to give them the opportunity to work for you?
Thank you, Siu Pan.
So maybe I would like to add a bit more. I think talking about the skills for future manufacturing, right? The future manufacturing workforce. So I thought interesting, the keyword is future manufacturing. So future is, what it's about future is, it never comes, right? It's always in the future. So how do you prepare for something that is always coming? But yet we know that it's always something to look forward to. And there's that level of uncertainty. So I thought there's another aspect of the skills or qualities is needed in our workforce, both as we prepare our current students as well as helping the adult workers out there already, is this part about able to learn how to learn, pick up new things along the way. I think that part about self-directed learning is important. I think that confidence in them, because I feel that a lot of times after we work for a while, we may lack the confidence to pick up new skills. Then when all these new things like AI, robotics, all these start coming up, then whether are they still able to adapt and find ways and means to pick them up. I think that is something that it is important, and we need to keep helping our current students as well as the existing workforce to be able to pick up their skills.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Now we are running out of time, so perhaps in one sentence or short sentence, perhaps Michael, what would be your advice to the manufacturer today?
Well, the advice would be focus on what drives your business, and if you are a young talent coming out to the market, it's coming back to business being more human, and it's about what is actually driving the business. Technology is becoming a lot easier to adopt, so don't worry about having a deep technical skill sets. Learn to understand what drives a business, what a business needs from you, and when you do, identifying technology and bringing it into the business. Be the catalyst that brings it in. Be the accelerator for technology adoption for the company you come into.
Thank you, Michael. And Bala?
Yeah, myself, I have the 4 A's, right? So first, we have to adapt. We have to be agile. That's the first one. Then we have to adopt AI. We have to adopt the automation. And the fourth important one, I think we have to allow the failure. Well, what I mean by allow failure is, when you allow the failure, you will breed more innovation. And when you breed innovation, you will be able to drive the change, not follow the change. So that's my 4 A's. Right.
All right, thank you. And
maybe just a small point on it. I thought that as what we also know through this morning is that technology is ever evolving. And in fact, technology implementation nowadays is a lot more cheaper than compared to the past. But what I think that maybe businesses could consider to do more is to build a learning culture within your organizations. If you have that learning culture and you mobilize all your workforce to be willing to learn and to even exchange for information, even consider various forms of cross-deployment for learning, I think this will help to actually accelerate the acceptance of technology as well as to propel your organization to greater heights.
Thank you. So today, this comes to an end, panel discussion today, and I'm glad we have all the experts sharing their expert opinion with us today. So I hope everyone has benefited from this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another big round of applause for our panelists and moderator. We're going to invite them to take a group photograph right at the center. So if you can get everyone to huddle close to the center, we'll do a nice group photograph with all our speakers. All right, big smiles for the camera. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a big round of applause for our panelists and moderator. Thank you. You may return to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this segment. We hope today's conversations have sparked new ideas and meaningful connections. Let's show our appreciation once again to all the speakers, keynote, industry speakers, as well as our panelists, everyone who's spoken today. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now, everything that we do, we also want to get better at the more that we do it. So we really would love your feedback. Anything that you enjoyed about today's event, which speakers stood out to you the most? What kinds of inputs for the programming did you feel really made a difference for you? Scan the QR code that's on the screen right now and let us know. We want to make this event even better, brighter in the years to come. So do share all your feedback with us at the QR code. If you'd like to share your feedback just a little bit later, you can take a picture of this first, and then you can share your feedback slightly later in the afternoon as well. Thank you. Now, as a reminder, Automation SG is having an exciting giveaway at the end of today and tomorrow. So it's a little bit of a lucky draw. So they got attractive prizes, earphones, tablets, smartwatches. To qualify, all you need is your stamp card, and all you need to do on that stamp card is to get 5 stamps from the booths and 1 from one of the tracks of discussions. So any of the afternoon tracks, just go for one of them, and you are already in the line to get that lucky draw prize. Just put your slips inside the giveaway box at 4:30 p.m. at the latest. The winners will be announced at 5 p.m. All right, and with that, it is my pleasure to please invite everyone to please keep seated first. We'd like to invite our VIPs in rows 1 to 3 to make the exit to the staff lounge, the SPCC lounge, please. Thank you. All right, so while our VIPs are making their move, for those of you who have signed up for the afternoon breakout tracks, you are reminded that you need to gather at the exhibition hall by 1:15 p.m. Now, the student ushers will guide you to your respective venues. You can refer to the information boards in the exhibition hall, or you can view the information at the event website as well. Gentle reminder again, if you're only viewing for today, do keep your lanyards and deposit them at the registration tables as well. All right, so for SP staff, I'd like to invite you to proceed to level 1. Students, please exit from the emergency staircase at the sides. Thank you. Okay, gentle reminder once again, if you're attending just today, we encourage you to drop your lanyard in the cardboard bins located at the exits before you leave. So just drop them right at the exits as you leave, and we'll hold them for the next session as well. Thank you.